Hey everybody, welcome back to another Classics Are Better. I'm Travis, and today we're back working on my 66 C10 I call Bandit. Goal for today is to get this nasty mess cleaned up and prepped for my LS just to go right on in, y'all. It's gonna take some work. Let's get to it. Alright y'all, so if you didn't watch part one, basically we were pulling out this, what turned out to be a small block 305 out of this truck. This was sold as a 350, so that kind of stinks, but hey, that's on me. So the prep list for the LS is going to be degrease and clean everything, cut out the old motor mounts, remove the old wiring and fuel lines. I'm going to make a custom rad support, you'll see what I mean on that. Remove pieces of the old mounts, like for the tranny mount and stuff like that. They had torched out, looks horrible. KBS the frame and under the cab. Paint the engine bay, and then add new motor perches and mounts. So it's a big list. Let's get after it. Alright, so as you can see, it is totally nasty. I assume you guys don't want to just sit here and watch me clean and vacuum this thing, so it's probably best to just go ahead and do like a snap. And now, it's clean. Well, clean enough anyway. Okay, so the plan now is to get these hoses kind of pushed back out of the way so I don't have to worry about them, and get some sparks flying over here. Also, my friends, when you're grinding, wear some sort of face protection, eye protection at minimum. Stuff can get crazy and you do not want it going in your eyes. So I got the old box steel motor mounts out of here. You see kind of where they had welded them on or whatever, where I had to cut, but I'll get that all grounded down and then get this cleaned up, and that way I can get it painted up. We'll be that much closer to LS time. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the win tonight from the motor mounts and the cleanup. Be right back out here tomorrow, we'll get back after it. Alright y'all, it's the next day. Let's get this prep work knocked out. I was able to make a little bit of progress off camera. I was able to come in with the grinder and death wheel and cut out the old support pieces for the former cross member right here where they had just sheared it off. Got this out, I'm gonna get it cleaned up, and then I'm gonna try and put in like a small single bar that goes across the top, just to give my radiator something to sit on. I'll put like a rubber piece on top of that so it doesn't get marred up while it's vibrating or whatever. Also, I am not good at welding, so just telling you guys up front, but you don't get better at stuff unless you practice, so time to get after it. Okay, so I put my weak welding skills to the test, as you can tell by how dusty my welder is. I did have to flux core weld this thing because I don't have any gas. But it's on here and it's solid, so it'll suit my purpose, and you won't be able to see it or anything when it's done. So ugly but effective, I can deal with it. Another thing I realized, y'all, while I was digging into this in my last video, part one or whatever, I was thinking that my cross member here was out of an early 80s C10. Well, I think my disc brakes are, but I think this cross member might actually be the original cross member, because I got an 80s C10 motor perch and motor mount or whatever on here. And while they kind of fit, they don't fit. I've learned some stuff under here, so you can see it used to have some sort of floor shifter, but I don't think that was original. I think originally it was a 3 on the tree, because this looks like a hack job of a hole and then a hack job of a patch. So I'm not sure how I feel about all these self-tappers sticking through. I might need to address that when I pull the carpet out and stuff when I do the interior, but that's for a different day. What we're doing right now is, right here is the old rubber fuel line I put in to get this thing running, the old actual fuel line that's not even attached to anything right now, and then the brake line. So brake line I'm going to leave alone, but the old fuel lines I'm going to rip out of here. Success, y'all. That was easier than I thought. So got my fuel line out, no problem, that I had been using. I just have it hanging from the back because I didn't want to lower the truck again. And then here's the old hard line that would have ran from the gas tank in the cab to the motor. So that's like the stock one. So I'm cleaning up this cross member, and I just wanted to show you guys how like this nasty just grime and grease was at least a 1/4 inch thick on here. Just gross. Okay, so I stayed up way too late last night just grinding away on this thing, getting it cleaned up and get all that muck and grime and just nastiness off. And here it is, about 27.34 pounds of disgusting. Yum. So I ran into a minor inconvenience. The old cross member that came with the truck was just torched out by somebody down the line. You can tell by all the nice drippies of horrendous ungrinded perfection there. But it just looks so crappy that I want to try and get these off, or at least cut it even with the frame rail, so you never know, you know, once the motor and stuff's in here, it'll look just fine. Check it out. So everything has been degreased and prepped and etched, cleaned off, ready to go. I still need to bolt in the cross member, but I want to get some new bolts for that thing, so it's in the right spot, so that's fine. Fun tech tip: if you're gonna paint something either in the engine bay or down below and you just want to cover stuff real quick and it's really tedious to tape it up, crunch you up some foil. Foil is awesome. You can paint all around it and then just rip it off and throw it in the recycling. I said I'm about to do the KBS treatment on this. It's very similar to like a Por 15 or Rust-Oleum stop treatment. Again, it's basically just like a coating that goes on, kind of a poor man's powder coat. I do have a step-by-step video on how to use the product from when I did the rear half of the frame on the truck, so please check the link above. You should be able to have more detailed instructions if you're looking exactly how to do it. It got cold. Hopefully everything cured okay. It looks pretty good. I'll show you all in a sec. But it's like upper 20s outside now. And if you can see in here, it is like 49, 50 degrees. It's a little chilly, so time to turn on big time heater. Tell you what, this afternoon it was definitely kerosene heater for the win. Those BTUs were needed. So it is now like 63, 64 in here. So we are gonna get back at it. I'm gonna show y'all what I did last night. Check it out. If you guys can get a gist of just how covered it all is. So here's kind of the super low angle of how everything turned out. Again, could it be better? Sure. But is it a whole lot better than it was? Most definitely. That was a butt kicker. That was like 2 nights of just coming out here with a paintbrush, getting the coating on everything. Going forward, if I do it again, I would most definitely put the coating stuff on the frame rails, and then on the actual bottom of the cab, I would just use like a spray-on bed liner or something like that, just because it was so tedious. Oh my gosh, covering every time you look, there was more that you had missed. I had to do it over again, and being, you know, geared up with a respirator and a face mask and all that kind of stuff, since it is basically forever if it gets on your skin, that it kicked my butt. Okay, so everything is cleaned up. I went ahead and put one of my old jackets on just because I'm about to start painting everything. For this job, I'm going to use some Rust-Oleum High Heat Ultra. It's like the kind of a semi-gloss finish for barbecue grills, stuff like that, and it should hold up to the heat in the engine bay just fine. So the last part of the video today is going to be adding the CPP motor mounts, specifically the Perches, up onto the cross member here. So essentially it is going to go like so, and then you can put the mount specifically on top of that, and then I got some Dirty Dingo slider mounts to actually hold the LS on here. So get these zipped up, and then it is time to get that LS out of the burb. Okay, so check it out. The motor mounts are in, and I think they are looking pretty good. The whole thing just turned out a whole lot better than I expected it to. Is it perfect? No. Does it need to be perfect? Nope. It is good enough for me, and it's definitely good enough for this old truck. So it is looking pretty darn sharp from head to tail. So not only is the engine bay and everything painted up now, the frame rail's coated all the way down the truck, and as y'all saw before, all below the cab and through here. So again, I'll just have this old junky bed on it, but this thing is gonna be pretty darn sweet underneath, y'all. All right, my friends, so this truck is a whole lot better than when we started on this project. So it is ready to get the LS in here. So next video will be me pretty much pulling out the 5.3 out of the burb and then getting it stuck in here and all the fun that entails. But this will probably do it for part 2 of getting an LS swap done on my 66 C10 Bandit. Please keep following along. You can hit subscribe and hit that little bell, and it'll let you know when new videos come out and stuff. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Get out there, get wrenching if you can. And until the next time, my friends, have a good one.